You know, our vision will not change, which is to be the best program in the state of Missouri. I mean, we're going to be successful because of the way that we practice, the way that we work, the way that we play, and that's what's going to make folks proud at the end of the day, and that's why we play football. Anyway, we got great kids, man, and that's probably the best part of this whole thing. Play the very best that we can play, no matter who we play, because at the end of the day, that's what we're supposed to do, is give our best, regardless of who we're playing, and I thought our kids did that. And, you know, you have no idea how much it helps the kids, you know, when the fans are behind them and the students are into it, you know, so I just ask that they show up and let's be ready to go. You know what, I mean, if you approach life from the standpoint of, I want to be the very best I can be today and don't worry about tomorrow and don't worry about yesterday, you know, it kind of works itself out. I mean, they're coaching their butts off every single day, every single minute to put the best product they can put out there. And we're going to have kids that are going to compete. Like, they're going to go out there and compete their butts off, you know, and sometimes that's good enough, sometimes it's not. But what we have to do is do the fundamental things that's good for us, and that's hang on to the ball, try to have some big plays, be good in special teams. You know, like the objectives that it takes to win football, that's what we're working on every single day. Anybody that's ever been a competitor loves to compete. You know, like I can't wait for them to get in there, you know, and let's see how our kids perform.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to week number 12 of the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show. Man, Coach, what a fun thing we did the other night. You know, that was awesome. Well, once again, we appreciate you guys tuning in here to the Coaches Show, and I hope you're enjoying having it on YouTube as well. So don't forget to share the video as much as you can. A big thanks to our sponsors tonight. That is our presenting sponsor, Jenkins CPA here in Nixa. And, of course, they're taking appointments already to get taxes done. I got my call today. So you can go ahead and call them and make sure you get in quick and early sometime next year. We'll have our night real estate team with Old World Realty offensive and defensive plays of the week and Big Al Sub preview coming up for our big game against RAY-PEC this coming Friday night. And, of course, Coach, we love our host here at Big Whiskeys, and they take care of our coaches tonight that are on the show, and, of course, also our players. So don't forget Big Whiskeys. I know Friday night there's going to be a lot of people here because limited amount of people going to the game. Make sure you call early with Big Whiskeys, and I'm sure that they will get you a reservation and make sure you have a spot ready for Friday night's game. All right, Coach, you ready to get into the Coaches Show?
I'm ready.
Well, you got a job to do, sir. You got to grab that marker right there, and you're going to walk right over there on that new line from the Signorama Touchdown Club Coaches Show. 40 to 28. 40 to 28. 40-28. Outstanding. Well, Coach, we had a fun game on a Saturday. Kind of felt like a college atmosphere, you know, as we had this day game and our semifinals game. Coach, you know, you had last week got on the Coaches Show and asked for the fans to get loud, to be proud, and to really come out and support the Nixa Eagle program. How did you feel that went this Saturday?
Man, I thought it was great. I mean, we had a great crowd. I thought the tailgating was awesome. I thought our guys were, you know, feeding off of that the entire game, you know. And, you know, momentum counts for so much in athletics. And, you know, your home crowd, your fans, your you know, people supporting you really helps those guys stay ready to go, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, did you see that one tailgate party that looked like the coaches' wives were all dressed up as their husbands? That was kind of funny. I thought that was pretty good.
That was awesome. my wife actually looked more like me than I did. You know what I'm saying? It was absolutely amazing. I thought she looked pretty good. I thought I looked pretty good.
Well, Coach, going into that game, you know, I know that you had the guys obviously prepared. You know, we knew Lee Summit West was going to be a tough game. You guys had went up there. You pre-scouted them. What were your expectations? What was the final words that you said to our players coming out of the opening locker room?
You know, really just we're good enough. You know, let's go play. You know, let's go be the best that we can be and make them have to worry about playing us. Don't worry about playing them because they're having to figure out how to stop us. You know, like it's always, you know, we tend to, sometimes our mind tends to move to the other team, but I mean, we're good enough. And I think trying to get the mindset in, you know, our kids that we are good enough and we do deserve this, and, you know, enjoy it and go play.
Well, Coach, we obviously had some big plays. We had a 65-yard touchdown pass. We're going to highlight that a little bit later. We had some great defensive plays, Coach. That last defensive stand when they went 4 and out in the end zone, near the end zone, that kind of turned the tide and got us into that victory mode. But, Coach, what really stood out for you as far as the on-field play on Friday night? I know your running back had 152 yards, your quarterback 237 yards.
It's really hard, you know, it's really hard to pull out, you know, a kid or two because it's such a team effort, and you know, the left guard, the right tackle, the left defensive, like they all played so hard, and it, you know, there are certain positions that come with a certain amount of glory, but those guys that are, you know, doing the dirty work are every bit as important as, you know, anybody else that you know, does get the headlines, and that's just part of the, you know, that comes with the job. But what I was most proud of was, you know, our kids, you know, being down at halftime, and it was similar to the Carthage game when, you know, we give up one right before half that we probably shouldn't have. We go in down, but, you know, they continued to fight, and they didn't let their mind go to that place, you know, that we're just not good enough, or here it goes again. They continued to fight for the next 24 minutes, and that's what, you know, we were most proud of.
Well, Coach, one of the things I noticed, too, especially watching some of our defensive players, and even a play we're going to highlight with Smith coming up in a few minutes, the guy, the legs never stopped going. I mean, it just play after play. Jaden even had probably a breakout game for him. I mean, just an outstanding game that he had. And then watching those linemen just continue to dig, because those were some big boys up there.
No doubt.
And they came down here to play some great football. And I was just very impressed at the work ethic they had in that second half.
No doubt. You know, the old adage, you can control your attitude and your effort. And I thought our guys played really, really hard. They had a great attitude, you know, and put it all and left it all out there on the field. And that's, you know, as a team or as a player or as a coach, that's all you can ask for. Just give us everything you got, believe in what you're doing, and have fun doing it, and normally things work out for the best.
Well, Coach, you gave Coach Wickwar a big task of stopping a pretty good offense, and, of course, here they had to do that in the second half when we were down 21-14. Tell us a little bit about, you know, how proud of you are of our defensive coordinator. He's going to be our interview coming up after the break.
Man, has done a fantastic job. I mean, that's a side of the ball that I honestly don't even worry about. You know, I let them have it. They do a fantastic job as a staff, you know, with Coach Wickwar leading the charge defensively. They love playing for those guys, and, you know, they have kind of, you know, they've been great all year long, you know, and it was anything different Saturday. You know, I thought they were as good an offensive team as we've played all year. They did all types of different things, and I thought holding them to 28 points was pretty good, you know, plus the fact that we turned it over a couple times made it a little easier on them, but they do an outstanding job.
Well, I just appreciate Coach Wickwar making sure we got our benches back when Lee Summit West was trying to steal our benches over there. It was kind of interesting going back to the tailgate party as we're sitting there, and I was downstairs with everybody and kind of hanging out, and here comes the Lee Summit player bus. And it's like, you know, because we have such an ominous, cool-looking stadium, right? And a lot of the visitor fans never get to see that.
Yes.
So you're Lee Summit West, and you're pulling down, and their bus gets about halfway, almost into our tailgate party, and then has to turn around and go back. I thought that's some good home field advantage right there.
I got two thoughts about that. Number one, my first thought was party and Wickwar. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wickwar is not going to let a party go by, I promise. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be involved in that. My second thought is their coach before the game mentioned that ride in and talked about how awesome that was to see the fans, to see the stadium, to see the – they've not had any of that, you know, because of the restrictions or whatever. Yeah. So he was glad that his kids got to see an atmosphere that, you know, you should be seeing all over the state. You know, but you're not right now because of the times that we live in. So, you know, they were very thankful to be able to see that.
Well, and Coach Martin sent me a nice text that we had received from Lee Summit. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but it was a really nice text. We put it on the Touchdown Club page about the atmosphere that we provided, and I think you're right. I hadn't thought about that, Coach. I mean, look what we're going to go face up at RAY-PEC that we can't send the drove of people that would want to go. They got to come down to Nixa and experience some fun.
That's right, and I think they were very, very grateful for that and very grateful to be able to play on Saturday and let those kids come back. I thought they were a class act, coaching staff, players, and all.
Okay.
Nixa football fans, we're going to Kansas City Friday night. Our next opponent will be way more peculiar. This coming Friday night, and we need a big crowd to travel all the way to Kansas City.
Coach, congratulations on the big victory. I know it's a team effort. Any final thoughts before we move past Lee Summit West and start focusing on RAY-PEC?
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. All right. Coach Perry. All right, our next guest here at the Touchdown Club is our defensive coordinator. So let's bring up Coach Phil Wickwar. Well, Coach, I got to tell you, man, that first half, we were sitting up in the press box, and we've talked about this before, and I love it. I love your intensity. I love your enthusiasm. Little harder to hear you this week because we had a pretty aggressive crowd, which is awesome. But, Coach, when it's a privilege to watch you never stop coaching.
Well, I told Dustin many times to turn that TV around so my voice will go away from our stands, but he doesn't do that. I think, as Coach said, the staff, we have such a collaboration and such a buy-in from our athletes. I don't know. It's more of a responsibility because of the progress I've seen them make, the intensity, the buy-in.
Right.
The buy-in to my staff. Good night. My wife gets a little aggravated. She's really supportive, but my phone never stops buzzing all weekend long because I'm getting, this is what they're doing in 3x1. This is because everybody's working.
Right.
And so what people see on a Saturday or Friday is my responsibility for those kids' hard work and performance. It's more of a drive of wanting to make sure they don't get in their own way, and that's where it comes. Plus, football, I don't know if anybody knows, is a fairly intense sport, and so I tell myself to calm down. That's probably one of my weaknesses, to be honest with you.
Well, Coach, our defense did make some big plays the other night. I saw, consistently, like I was telling Coach Perry, just kept digging, kept fighting, kept staying in the game.
As Coach Perry said, we had a lot of respect for Lee Summit West, especially on the offensive side. They were very big and very athletic. And in the zone scheme, they were very intelligent, very smart. They're very well coached. Their coach put us in a lot of formations. We had a lot of stuff to cover over the week. And I just thought our athletes did an absolutely fantastic job. And they had a lot of speed. Their tailback, and then actually
fast.
number 2, who our secondary really kind of shut down, was a big thing because I think, be honest with you, it's the type of game I think we'll have some young men get opportunities at the next level because of the way they played against this caliber of athlete.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we caused some turnovers. We had 2 interceptions the other day, both of them in the end zone. Great timing for that.
Definitely. They were kind of helping their coach out because I was struggling stopping them. So Mr. Ayers over there, who actually volleyballed it with his broken hand, okay, and we're trying to get some Velcro on that cast that he has to wear, and then Colin made a heck of a catch. So it's a great time to get an interception. I think it really deflates. Coach was talking about momentum.
Sure.
It's really a deflator, and that's one thing I'd say about my defense that I'm probably the most proud of is that I think I counted. We've played 10 games. We have about 10 series a game, maybe 11. So that's about 110 series, if my math is right. And there's 2 series this entire year, and you might even be surprised. And I won't share my secret, but there's 2 series that I was disappointed, and I told my kids I was disappointed when they happened. Circumstances, they're young, fatigue, whatever, hope. And there was 2 series I felt like we didn't play up to our caliber. We make mistakes, but that's not a big deal to us. We want to make aggressive mistakes. So to have that much consistency and buy-in is awesome for these young men. I think they'll take it the rest of their life, and it's also awesome for Coach Perry and what he's allowed us to create as far as our culture.
Well, it's exciting to watch you guys. You know, we got 2 chances the other night to do Here Comes the Boom. It's always so.
Dylan, I have
I think
to ask,
it's coming up, though.
Dylan, did you miss the trash can? I'm just asking. Okay. That was a rumor I heard, and I think it cost you defensive play of the week.
Well,
it's just that's
yeah.
the rumor on the street. Maybe next time, buddy. Maybe next time.
I'm really
heck of a play, though.
I'm really both of the interceptions are kind of our defensive plays.
Yeah,
of the
they
week.
need
You know,
to be.
They really need to
They
be.
were big momentum
Yeah,
swings.
they really were, and so we'll highlight that when we get into the edit. We'll get that back on there for you. But Coach, any final thoughts about? Well, you know, and we're going to preview the upcoming game. I've done some scouting, get a big tall quarterback that we're going to have to go after, and they seem like they've got a pretty fast tailback.
Yes, you know they're good. As Coach said, every team left in this tournament is good, which includes the Nixa Eagles. And you know everything to reiterate what he has said. You know our focus is about being the best us. I think that's going to be enough, to be honest with you. So we are aware, and they're talented, and it looks like we're going to travel pretty well, and we're excited for the challenge.
We appreciate you very much for being on the Coaches Show this week, and one more big round of applause for our defensive coordinator, Coach Wickwar.
Thank you. Thanks for what you do.
You bet, buddy. Okay, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors with Jenkins CPA and the Night Team with Old World Realty. We'll be back with Ramone Green and Smith Wheeler. Be right back.
Hi, welcome to Jenkins CPA. Come on in and I'll give you the tour. Our office is friendly and inviting. You'll be greeted by Madison at the front desk. Check out our playroom and enjoy watching the fish. Let's make our way back to bookkeeping, where you'll find Emily processing payroll. Our friendly staff is always here to answer any questions that you might have. Here we find Taylor entering accounts payable and Caitlin picking up any slack. Next door, you can find Marlo, our accounting manager, working hard to get our company set up properly and answering all of those pesky IRS love letters. Vance, our CFO, keeps our business moving and provides individual tax services to our clients. Kevin Y, CPA, overall brilliant accounting master, solving the world's problems. And across the hall, we'll find Mason, the health insurance guru, getting ready to head to our Springfield office. At Jenkins CPA, our days are spent building all sorts of questions and projects the world throws at us, creating a fun environment where you can laugh your tax off. Thank you for joining us today for our tour. So when you're ready, we'll be ready for you.
Jenkins CPA.
Hello, we are Doug and Denise Knight, and we are the Night Team of Old World Realty. Together, we have over 50 years of real estate and construction background and knowledge. We can help you buy and sell or build with our partner, Old World Cottages, right there in Nixa. Whether it's an investment property or a family home or a specialty custom home, we want to be your resource for all your real estate needs.
We work with honor, service, and loyalty, and we partner with those who do the same.
Because that is the Night way.
Nixa football fans, we're going to Kansas City Friday night. Our next opponent will be Raymore Peculiar this coming Friday night, and we need a big crowd to travel all the way to Kansas City.
It's Friday night.
And we're back once again here at the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show at Big Whiskey's. Great interviews with Coach Perry and Coach Wickwar, and now we've got Ramone Green coming up, and then we'll have Smith Wheeler, and then we'll finally wrap things up with Coach Perry as we get ready for RAY-PEC. Ramone, I just want to tell you, bud, it's been a privilege and an honor not only to watch you this season, but last season as well. I kept thinking, who is this hotshot freshman out there thinking he's going to be the next running back? And, man, you have come onto the scene, and your hard work, your due diligence, the effort that you're putting in is very commendable, man. I just want to give you a personal round of applause, man. That's awesome. Well, so far on 2020, man, dude, you have 215 carries. You're a little over 1,200 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns, 5.7-yard average. Would anybody else besides me draft Ramone Green to be in your fantasy football league? I think I would definitely put Ramone in my fantasy football league. And just the other night, 27 carries, 152 yards, and that's on a night when we had 270 yards passing. Tell me, how does it feel to be a part of this team, bud?
It feels good, you know, just like
It's like how much success we had this season, and like we've came such a long way from summer, and I'm just so glad to be a part of this.
Well, you know, you got an offensive line that's working pretty hard out there for you, man. And each and every week, man, they're opening up holes. But here's the other thing I'm noticing, man. You're creating opportunities. Your awareness on the field is just remarkable as I see you adjust to how the holes unfold. How do you mentally prepare each and every week going into a Friday night?
Mentally, I just practice helps me a lot. You know, we just go through our script and go through our plays all week, and so game time, you don't really have to think about much. That's what all week of practice is for. So when the games roll around, you just go out there and play.
Yeah, you had a couple. This is a big run here. Tell me, this is the one where you kind of watch it. And tell me how this sets up. You're supposed to go right. You cut back left.
Yeah, this is Tiger. So it's a play that's supposed to go to the right, but their defensive end was he was pretty good and he was really aggressive. So he came outside, and so I knew there was nothing there. So I looked back and there was a cutback lane, cut back, and ended up getting some good yards.
Yeah. Hey, and tell me about the helmet thing. Dude, did he really rip it off?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was probably just mad that, we were just running down their throat at the end. But I mean, it's whatever. He did apologize after the game. So
he did.
That
okay.
was,
well,
I thought that was.
There's
that was
a lot
good.
of emotions that come with the game of football. We know that, and each and every week we see things even on TV that players don't really mean to do, but it does happen. But I tell you what, Ramone, was I the only one that was a little scared? Was a little slow to get up on that one play? I should have asked Coach Perry what he thought about that. What was the injury?
I wasn't hurt. He just hit me right in my stomach, so I couldn't breathe. He just knocked the wind out of me, and everybody thought I was actually hurt, but I just needed a minute to catch my breath.
Well, Ramone, you're having a great season. We got a big job that you got to do on Friday night. And, the passing combination, passing attack, and running attack that we have is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I think, on Saturday, the passing game really helped open up the running game because at the beginning of the game, they were stacking up the box and, bringing everybody in. And then once our passing game started going, it helped out spread them out, and our line just started working them over and got holes for me.
All right,
made my job easy.
Well, I hope you enjoy your free meal here at Big Whiskey's tonight. Greg wants to give you another opportunity to come back in and have a free appetizer on him. We really appreciate your hard work, and let's give a round of applause to our sophomore running back.
Thank you.
Our fantasy football stud, Ramone Green, which there's no E in Green. Very good. Well, as we have our next guest come up, Smith Wheeler, I just want to remind you a big thanks to our host here at Big Whiskey's, and we appreciate them very, very much for opening up their restaurant and taking care of our coaches each week and our players. And, of course, don't forget, they'll have the game streaming here on Friday night. And, of course, our other big sponsors, Jenkins CPA, Big Al Subs, which will have the preview coming up, and the night real estate team with Old World Realty. So, dude, get in that mic, man. Big game the other night. Okay, so here's the thing that really impressed me, man. Your track star, your track abilities really shine the other night, man. You were outrunning those wide receivers, and that one big play, and I've got some of those clips here. We'll get those started here. But on the season, I think it's pretty impressive. You're leading the wide receiver corps, 28 catches, 511 yards receiving, 5 TDs, an outstanding 18.3 yards per average. And the other night, 7 catches, 170 yards versus Lee Summit West. Dude, give this guy a round of applause. Now, the guys that you were sitting with back there, your lineman, is one of the reasons why you can do that. Tell me, what are your thoughts so far as we are progressing through this outstanding season?
Well, I mean, we had a great week of practice last week, and it obviously showed on the field. And so our past 2 days of practice have been really good. And, yeah, like you said, I couldn't have done it without our offensive line or Reed. I mean, it takes 22 guys to win a football game, so yeah, it's going to be good this week.
I think this is the one that you kind of catch shoestring down there on the and kind of barely stay in bounds. Just a great heads-up play here.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly where I was. I thought I was a lot closer to the sideline than I was, but yeah, I just wanted to stay in bounds either way.
What was on your mind as you come out? This is something I wanted to ask you. As you went into to halftime with a 21-14 deficit, what was your mindset? How was Coach relating to you?
Well, even after like I had scored, I really didn't care what I did. I was just really focused on doing everything I could to help us win that ball game. And it dug at me that we were down at halftime, and so coming out and having a second half like that really made me happy. So.
You know, Jackson Bray had a pretty good night the other night as well.
He did.
Had a lot of the slants seemed to be really working well with him.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the big plays here.
Mm-hmm.
I think this may be the play where you do the one-handed catch. I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm going to call that the offensive play of the week, man. I love that thing.
Yeah, they're playing man coverage, and so it's easy to beat if you're fast enough to get past that corner.
Yeah, but you wanted to go back to that guy and go, you got mossed. I mean, right? I mean, you got a one-handed catch on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that, I would say. I just was trying to make sure I kept my feet in bounds, but yeah.
Let's see what this play. I can't remember when all this unfolds here. I know there's another.
This was Austin.
Yeah, this is the one that I want to showcase here too. Now, I guys want you to pay attention to this clip on the screen here, because when we go to the other end zone view, watch what happens to our athlete here as he comes out.
Yeah.
He's on the ground basically, gets right back up. Austin makes the play to him, and that's hustle. That's hard work, guys. That's why we're going to continue to win football games. I got to give you a round of applause on that one, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to. I mean, it worked all week in practice, and then that happened, and so got knocked on the ground, and I just prayed that when I turned around, Austin would be there. So.
Hey, great heads-up hustle here, too. I mean, you got to come back to the ball just a tad. Reed still throws a great ball to you, and then you just turn on the Jets.
Yeah. It was.
How'd that feel to have that big 65-yard touchdown pass?
Well, when I saw him throw it, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I really didn't think he was going to throw it. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, he actually just threw that. So I just went up and got it, and then the rest is a blur.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, Smith, outstanding so far, dude, and we really appreciate your hard work that you're putting into the football program. We got a big game this Friday night. You guys need to just stay healthy, stay focused, listen to what coaches are telling you guys. Yes, and, man, let's just keep this thing moving, because once we beat RAY-PEC, man, we're coming back home.
Absolutely.
You know,
right.
and I'd like to get a few more games in Nixa this year, at least one more. So.
Me too, for sure.
All right, well, guys, give a round of applause to our athletes. Defensive play of the week.
Thank you.
Free dinner, Smith Wheeler. All right. Well, you know what? We'll be right back right after this message from Big Al Subs with our Week 12 preview with Coach John Perry.
A proud sponsor of the Nixa Touchdown Club is Big Al Subs, located in downtown Nixa on Main Street. You're going to find amazing food, great service, and, of course, a big variety of subs, pizzas, spuds, and a whole lot more. Plus, they have that Dole Whip there at Big Al's. They have a drive-thru. They offer delivery and inside dining. Plus, if you need an event catered, think of Big Al Subs. Again, Big Al Subs sandwiches located in downtown Nixa, right there on Main Street, a proud supporter of Nixa schools.
And we're back here once again at Big Whiskey's Bar and Grill right here in the big city of Nixa. And again, a big thanks to Big Al Subs. And I went over the other day, Coach, tried a new one, the meatball sub. And now I've been back for two more. It's a pretty good sandwich, man.
Well,
you got to try
I'm going to tell you what,
meatball.
I had a sandwich here tonight. What was the name of that? Hickory Melt. I had the Hickory Melt.
Yeah, the Hickory at Big Whiskey's.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. That's pretty good.
That's a good sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, moving forward. All right, so first time, I believe, in the history of the program, we're playing Ramone Peculiar. It's a Class 6 team up out of Kansas City. They're 7-2 on the season. On a positive note, they lost to Lee Summit West, 27-34. That was early in the season, though, Coach. And then the other night, they put a pretty good whooping on the Joplin Eagles as they were playing, I believe, there in Kansas City. All right, so how are we getting ready to head on up to KC and just tackle, I think, the Panthers is what they're called?
Well, you know, the Joplin game was really closer than the score indicated. It was 14-0 at halftime. They come out in the second half, and Joplin goes down and scores, cuts it to 14-7. You know, they have some momentum, and then they kick off at number 5 for RAY-PEC returns it for a 95-yard touchdown and just totally deflates them, and it kind of, went to 28-7 after that. But they're a really good football team, and like, Coach Wick said, we're just trying to be the very best that we can be, and put the very best football team that we can put out there that's prepared, knows what they're doing, and just a solid football team knowing that, they have to play us, So
Sure.
we're just trying to, have the very best practices we can have, get everything right, and get to a Friday night where we don't have the mental mistakes. Everybody assignment and alignment is perfect, and then just play hard and let the effort take care of it.
Well, Coach, I did notice, though, they do turn the ball over a little bit. They make mistakes. I think we can capitalize on that. But when you're looking at and you're watching film and you're identifying, I mean, that quarterback's obviously probably a pretty talented athlete. How do you guys build a plan of attack around a certain player or even a running back who seems to be pretty fast too?
You got to pick out what are they most dangerous? What gives them the opportunity for big plays? We want to try to make them snap the football 8, 10, 12, 14 times to score, because history tells you that if high school kids have to snap it 8 or more times, they'll mess it up. So we want to make them snap it. If they can, if it's a big play potential, we want to try to take that out of the ball game and just make them snap it, because they'll mess it up or the officials will mess it up for them, and that's kind of our philosophy. And on offense, we're the same way. We know 8, 10, 12 play drives are really hard.
Sure.
We need some big plays in there. So, we spend a large portion of our time each week in practice working on plays that can get us a large chunk of yardage, so that we don't have to have 10 play drives, because they're hard.
Yeah.
Jackson Bray's going to mess up at least once on them drives by jumping off sides and all that stuff he does.
It did happen a couple of times the other night, but we got those guys to get off sides too a little bit, so that kind of helps when it
I
counterbalances
love Jackson
out.
Bray though. He's one of my favorites,
I'll
but
tell
he's
you
going to
what.
get a 5-yard penalty every Friday night.
But yeah.
But he's just now figuring out that it's a football field. Like the kid's never played football. He sometimes is out there like he's playing basketball, and basketball, you don't have to stand still. You get to move whenever you want to, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't trade him for anybody. I'll put him on my fantasy team for sure.
Oh, man, he did have a great game
He's
the other
a
night.
bad
He had
dude.
some big plays. I mean, we had a lot of kids with big plays, and now we're going to need that again this Friday night. And so now, Coach, I just got a question for you. I know we can't have the big crowds that you would love to see up there. What is the best way we can support the football team throughout the rest of this week preparing for Friday night?
Well, I guess the best way would be when you lay down at nighttime, say your prayers, and ask the good Lord to be an Eagle fan Friday night. That would be awesome.
Well, Coach, any final thoughts before we wrap up this week's Touchdown Club Coaches Show?
Man, we're excited. We are grateful, to have the opportunity to still be playing football. All the teams are good from here on out. I think we can beat any of them. We've got a great group of young men that, this time of year, we're 14 weeks into practicing, and they are as excited, or at least they appear to be as excited today as they were day one, probably more so, because now they believe in themselves a little bit more than they did then. And, we just want to keep playing. We just want to find a way to win the game Friday night and try to bring another game back to Nixa.
There you guys have it. That's our Coach Perry right here on Week 12 of the Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show, brought to you by Jenkins CPA. And a big thanks to the Night Real Estate team at Old World Realty, Big Al Sub, Big Whiskeys, Dustin Martin, our producer behind the scenes. And we want to remind you, please consider joining our Nixa Touchdown Club. Vance is here tonight. He can tell you how to do that. You can also email info@nixachamber.com. Coach, we're going to get through the rest of the season, and then your Touchdown Club is going to be there to support you in the future as well. So we appreciate all the support we can get. So there you have it, our Nixa Touchdown Club Coaches Show right here at Big Whiskeys. Guys, everybody have a great week. And as Coach said, let's do a little praying.